Welcome back. We're live until 12:30 and there's plenty more still to come, including Sharon Marshall's soap gossip, plus all the news from the I'm a Celebrity jungle.
First, though, it's time for the second part of our health alert. Today we've been focusing on the increasing and alarming trend for self-harm amongst children and teenagers.
Well, following our phone-in last month on children's mental health, we've had dozens of calls and emails from parents worried about their children deliberately harming themselves. So we've brought back paediatrician Dr. Ranj to offer advice on the subject.
Well, he's here now and we're going to take some calls straight away. And I think we've got Kirsty, first of all. Hello, Kirsty.
Good morning.
Hi.
Morning.
Away you go.
I've recently discovered that my 12-year-old daughter, who's my youngest daughter, has been cutting her arms. Obviously, she moved to senior school in September, but the problem seems to be she's just insanely jealous of my eldest daughter. I have made an appointment with my GP, but I can't get in until the 16th of December, and I just wanted a few pointers, what to do. Just, you know, I don't want it to get any worse. I don't want it escalating. Just need help, really.
I think, Kirsty, you've done a brilliant thing by actually acknowledging that there's an issue and seeking help. Relationship difficulties, and we always think about partner relationship, but actually within families, is a common cause amongst young people for self-harm, in the fact that they're having difficulties with these relationships. I think you have done absolutely the right thing by going to your GP, and also you've done absolutely the right thing by it's important to talk to your daughter about it and say and acknowledge that this is going on. Do it in a calm and non-judgmental manner. Remember that she is going to probably find it quite difficult to talk about this, but wants to deal with things. Most of the young people want to sort these things out.
Does she want to talk to you about it? Have you been able to...
To be honest, she just kind of like point blank refuses.
Okay.
She has said it is over the relationship she has with her sister, and she has said that cutting her arm kind of makes it feel better.
I think you've got to get her sister on board as well. Remember that she's part of the solution. Don't expect an overnight change. Don't expect your daughter to be able to talk to you straight away, but start that journey now, and you're already doing it. Do it gently, do it calmly, and do it in a way that your daughter feels that if she wants to talk to you, she can, if she ever needs to come to you.
Is there any hope coming from your other daughter in communication and in support?
I think at the minute she just says she's doing it for attention.
Yeah, maybe you need to change her mindset.
Yeah,
she's the oldest one. Yeah.
But like you said, you've got a bit of time before your GP appointment. There's lots of information that you can get hold of, particularly online. Just Google self-harm. There's some great organisations. Go to our website. There's some great information on there as well. And just give it to your daughter so that in the meantime she can learn a bit more about what's going on, and that this is something that needs sorting out.
And hopefully, by bringing the elder daughter into it means that you can, because that's the source of the problem.
That's it. You've got to, it's part and parcel of this, and if you can, try and get her on board, get her understanding and get her involved as part of the recovery.
Yeah, I will try.
All right, good luck,
Okay,
Kirsty.
thanks for
Really
your
good luck.
help.
Lots of
Thank
love.
you.
Right, we've got Susan on the phone next. Good morning to you, Susan.
Hello.
Hiya.
Hello. Now, you're a young mum, aren't you, Susan?
Yeah, that's right.
And you're 16 years old.
Yeah.
And what appears to be the problem?
Due to a childhood trauma, I've suffered with depression, and well, since then I've just been self-harming, and it came through back through the pregnancy, and it's still happening now after I've had my baby. And I just don't want her like seeing her mum self-harm, and I just can't stop, really. It's like an addiction.
Well done for calling us up and talking about this openly, because that's the one thing we've been saying today, that this is such a secretive thing. So first step, well done, really good.
I think it's brilliant that you've spoken up. It's brilliant that you've sought help and engaged, actually. I know you've had a really difficult story and lots of things have happened, but there's so many positive things in your life and you need to concentrate on that. The fact that you've come forward and recognised that something's going on and you need to sort it out, the fact that you've got a child that you really care about, you sound a lot more mature than your years, and I think that's brilliant. So well done for actually speaking up for yourself. Don't knock that, because that's a brilliant thing. I think you've got to you probably know this already, but be open and honest and engage with services, because they're going to be there to help you, all right?
Yeah.
They're there to support you. Remember that. There's lots of support out there for you. You talk about suffering with depression in the past, or having suffered with depression. It's important that that gets addressed, because people that have underlying mental health problems can be more likely to self-harm, and therefore that depression may need treatment. Speak to your GP about that.
Have you ever discussed that time of your life? Have you ever talked to anyone about that?
Not really, no.
Yeah.
So this particular thing that happened to you, you've kept this inside?
Yeah.
Never talked to anyone about it?
No, never.
Yeah.
Would you talk to someone about it?
Maybe someone that I don't know.
Yes. And
Exactly.
this is
key.
essential.
That's so
That's the other part of it, is that these issues that have happened in your life, no matter how difficult it is and how tough you're going to find to deal with it, you've got to speak about them, because they're part of your recovery. They're part of dealing with the, coming up with a solution to all of this. Until you tackle that and get over that, you may not necessarily be able to get over your self-harm completely, but it's going to be a long process. But you're on the right road. You really are on the right road.
You've started that process today by doing this, so it's really important that you get that help, and
Well
we can put
done.
you in touch with somebody that will be able, that you'll be able to speak to. So,
Yeah,
so
we can
stay
talk
on
to
the
you
line.
afterwards.
Stay where you are. Don't hang up. Stay where you are,
Okay.
and we'll see if we can find someone who maybe can address that particular part of the problem.
Yeah,
Okay,
well
and then
done.
Thank you very
hopefully that will
much.
help in your recovery. And just to say, we said at the very beginning of this conversation you were 16, and we think you're amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Let's talk to Camilla. Hello, Camilla. Are you there, Camilla?
Hello.
Hiya.
Hi, Camilla.
What's the problem?
Hi. My daughter's 15 and she's been cutting herself and restricting food intake and made an overdose attempt. We've taken her to the doctor. She's been referred to the mental health team and she starts counselling in the next week or so. So, we've been really well looked after by the NHS in our area. We've got a good relationship with her and everything, but my question is, we want to support her along with the care that she's going to be getting from the professionals. And we want to know how to deal with day-to-day things, like, we still want her to do chores, but we don't want to have to ask her and badger her to do them. But, if we say no to her doing things, then she's going to get upset, she's going to maybe self-harm again.
So it's just the balance of everyday
Yeah.
life.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
that's it.
right.
I think you've hit it on the head. It's a balance. But remember, first and foremost, Camilla, you are a parent, and you might have to negotiate with your daughter to some extent. Acknowledge that she's going through quite a lot, and she's accessing the help that she needs. But I think you still have to negotiate and set those boundaries and guide her, because that's what she's going to need you to do long term. That is going to benefit her. Secondly,
It's frighteningly thin ice, though, isn't
Yeah.
it?
it really is. It's a really difficult situation to be in, and a parent's natural reaction is to back off and say, I can't do anything. But there is so much influence you can have without actually actively needing to do anything. And I've got to say, for young people, and particularly with regards to self-harm, there is so much online stuff available. Charities like Mind, Childline, Young Minds, selfharm.co.uk have a self-recovery program designed specifically for young people. There's so much out there. If you want help in the meantime and you want to support her in other ways, as well as keeping this good relationship you've got, access stuff like that.
What about what you do with young kids? And I'm only talking about this from mine, but that sort of thing of, instead of focusing on the things you can't do and worry about that, how she'll react to that, sort of say, well, if you do help around the house and you do this, then you can go to the cinema this weekend.
That's it.
I mean, I was just thinking maybe
it's
you
about
could
that
put that
task reward thing that we all do, isn't it? And that's part of normal parenting. That's part of good parenting.
And also picking your battles. And we've
Yes.
said this a number of times on
Yes.
here, right? Is that
Yeah.
worth it? Is it worth fighting
Yeah.
over this? No, it's not. We'll put that to one side. I'll let you get away with that.
Arguing doesn't always help, and being confrontational will certainly not help. So you're right about that, but you still have to be a parent.
Well, you sound like you're doing all the right things, so keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Well
Thanks.
done, you.
Thank
Stick
you.
in
Thanks
there.
very much for having this on the television. It's just brilliant to actually be able to talk to somebody about it.
Not
Thank
at all.
you.
Not at all. I want to get to Emily's email, who says, I'm worried about my 12-year-old son. After being bullied for years, my son woke up with lesions on his face after weeks of being told that it was impetigo. A consultant later revealed that he had been self-harming in his sleep. Last week he was attacked once again. I'm very worried that he may start with hurting himself at night or worse. What can I do?
Yeah, exactly. It seems at the core of this we've got bullying. as the precipitating factor, and that needs to be dealt with. You're going to need to speak to your son about who it is, what's going on. You're going to need to speak to the school and see if there's something that can be done about it. Bullying is a really serious issue, and we don't quite take it quite seriously enough, and it can lead to, you know, quite dramatic problems.
But he's being very secretive about it. So bringing this up,
it's happening in his sleep. So remember that you've got to open a calm, gentle dialogue with him and say, actually, something's going on. Do you want to talk to me about it? Give him time. It's not going to be something that he's going to all of a sudden talk about necessarily. I would say deal with the cause and then get him some support. It sounds like he's already seen somebody. For instance, he's seen a consultant, but it sounds like he probably needs more mental health / counselling
Well, the consultant
support.
sounds like it may be for the damage rather than the cause of the
Exactly.
damage.
So make sure he's accessing online support for young people. Make sure he's accessing some sort of counselling service or a talking therapy if possible. Ask your GP to refer you to CAMS. That's specifically designed for children and young people.
And I got this from you, actually, and it's that thing when you put them to bed at night. And I've started doing it with Belle and Harry, and I think if I start now at this age, they'll go, when I go to put them to bed, I go, tell me your favourite bit about the day. And then I always say, you know, if there's anything that ever worries you, you can always tell me. And then we have a little cut. It's like a really normal thing, and I just hope that if I instill that now, that as the time goes on, and that's what
the trouble is he's 12.
Yeah,
I know,
so
of course, absolutely.
I to say this to all parents, and they ask, how can we prevent something like this happening? How can I prevent my child self-harming? Well, you can't, but it's all about giving. Young people need support. They need to know that we're there for them. They need to know that they can come to us with anything and keep that open communication. They need early intervention when stuff is happening, and we need to help them build something called emotional resilience. Emotional health is the scaffolding of life. That's what helps us cope with the stresses and strains, no matter what they are. If we nurture that in our kids as they're growing, trust me, the benefits are literally lifelong, and that's what we need to concentrate on.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think we'll do this again at some stage.
Yeah,
I think
no,
it's absolutely
it's
essential.
very good. Thank you very
so much. I really hope if you are watching today specifically for this item, I hope it helped in some way. And don't forget that you can go online.
Yeah, if you or anyone you know would like information on anything Dr. Ranj has just discussed, then go to our website for more information, and we'll be back after this break.